I'm Aiden. I've got a story for you tonight that's been keeping me up at night, and I need to share it. It's about my old roommate, John, back when I was a sophomore at NYU. This story is true, and it's more disturbing than you can imagine. So, here we go. I met John during our freshman year. He was the quiet type, always buried in his books or typing away on his laptop. We didn't hang out much, but he seemed like a decent guy. Our second year, we decided to room together in one of the off-campus apartments. Everything seemed normal at first. One night, I came back from a late study session at the library. It must have been around 2 a.m. I noticed John's door was slightly ajar, which was odd because he was usually so private. I knocked softly. "John, you awake?" No response. Curiosity got the better of me, so I peeked inside. The room was dark, except for the soft glow of his computer screen. John was nowhere to be seen. As I stepped into the room, I accidentally kicked something under his bed. I bent down and discovered a hidden compartment. My heart started pounding. What could he be hiding? I reached in and pulled out a stack of photos. They were all pictures of students around campus, taken without their knowledge. There were photos of people in the library, at the coffee shop, even outside our apartment building. I felt a chill run down my spine. Why would John have these? I had so many questions, but no answers. My curiosity pushed me to dig deeper. Underneath the photos, I found notebooks filled with detailed observations about these people. Times, locations, behaviors. It was like John was stalking them. There were even maps with routes marked out. It felt like something straight out of a crime thriller. I sat back on my heels, trying to process what I was seeing. Was John dangerous? Should I confront him? Or maybe I should just call the police. As I pondered my options, I heard the front door creak open. John was back. My heart raced. I quickly shoved everything back into the compartment and scrambled to my feet, trying to act casual. John walked in, his eyes locking onto mine. "Hey, what are you doing in my room?" His voice was calm, but there was an edge to it that made my skin crawl. I thought I heard something in here. Wanted to check if you were alright. I lied, hoping he wouldn't see through me. He just stared at me for a moment, then shrugged. "Thanks, I'm fine." He closed the door behind me, and I couldn't help but feel like I had narrowly escaped something terrible. That night, I barely slept. Every little noise made me jump. I kept thinking about those photos and the detailed plans. What was John planning to do? I knew I had to report it, but I was terrified. What if he found out it was me? What if he came after me next? The next day, I went to the campus authorities. I told them everything I had found and handed over the photos and notebooks. They took it seriously, thank God. They assured me they would investigate and keep an eye on John. The waiting was the worst part. Every time I saw John around campus, my heart would skip a beat. He seemed as calm and collected as ever. Did he know I had reported him? Was he planning something against me now? Weeks went by, and I heard nothing from the authorities. My anxiety was through the roof. Then one day, John didn't come back to the apartment. Days turned into weeks, and still no sign of him. Finally, I got a call from the campus police. They had taken John into custody. They found even more disturbing evidence in his room. He had been planning to kidnap one of the students he had been watching. I felt a mix of relief and terror. What if I hadn't found those photos? What if I hadn't reported him? It's been years, but I still get chills thinking about how close I was to something truly horrific. Stay safe out there, and always trust your instincts. My name is Joshua, and I'm a senior at Harvard. College life was supposed to be the best years of my life, filled with unforgettable experiences and lifelong friendships. Instead, it turned into a nightmare I never saw coming, all because of my roommate, Anthony. Anthony was the kind of guy everyone loved. He was charismatic, always knew what to say, and had a way of making you feel like you were his best friend. We met during freshman orientation and decided to share a dorm room. For a while, everything was great. We went to parties together, studied together, and even shared some deep conversations late into the night. I trusted him completely. But then, things started to get strange. One day, I got a notification on my phone. Your credit card application has been approved. I stared at it, confused. I hadn't applied for any credit cards. I thought it was a mistake, but then more notifications followed. Thank you for applying for a loan. Your new account is ready to use. What the hell is going on? I muttered to myself. I decided to dig deeper. I checked my credit report and was shocked to find several accounts and loans I knew nothing about. My heart pounded as the realization hit me. Someone had stolen my identity. But who? I couldn't shake off the suspicion that someone close to me was behind this. I started watching everyone around me more closely, but no one seemed out of the ordinary. Then one night, I noticed Anthony on his laptop, typing away with a strange intensity. I felt a chill run down my spine. Hey Anthony, what are you working on? I asked casually. Oh, just a paper for my economics class, he replied without looking up. But something about his tone made me uneasy. I couldn't sleep that night, tossing and turning as doubts plagued my mind. The next day, I decided to do some investigating of my own. When Anthony went to class, I took a risk and searched his side of the room. I found a small notebook hidden under his mattress. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside were pages filled with my personal information, my social security number, bank details, passwords. My stomach churned. How had I been so blind? I confronted Anthony that evening. Why did you do it, Anthony? I demanded, holding up the notebook. His face went pale, but then he sneered. You wouldn't understand. I needed the money. You're ruining my life, I shouted. Do you even care? What are you going to do about it? He taunted, stepping closer. I could see the menace in his eyes. Before I could react, he lunged at me. We fought, knocking over furniture and exchanging blows. I managed to break free and ran out of the room, my heart racing. I reported everything to the campus police, who took my statement seriously. Anthony was arrested, but the damage was done. I had to spend months clearing my name, dealing with banks and credit agencies. The worst part was the paranoia that followed me everywhere. I couldn't trust anyone anymore. Every friendly smile seemed like a potential threat. I avoided making new friends and kept to myself, constantly looking over my shoulder. Looking back, I still wonder how I didn't see it coming. How could someone so charming and friendly be so deceitful? It's a question that haunts me to this day. So, if you ever find yourself sharing a room with someone, no matter how close you get, always keep your guard up. You never know what secrets they might be hiding. I'm Mia, and I'm here to share a disturbing story about my college roommate that happens in 2015. It all started during my sophomore year at the University of Texas. I was assigned a new roommate, Olivia. At first, she seemed friendly and outgoing, and we got along pretty well. But soon, I started noticing strange people coming and going from our apartment at all hours. It made me uneasy, but I tried to brush it off. One evening, I came back from the library, and the apartment was filled with smoke. My heart raced as I walked in. What was happening? I found Olivia passed out on the couch, surrounded by what looked like drugs. Panic set in. I shook her, trying to wake her up, but she didn't respond. Was she even breathing? I called 911, my hands trembling as I explained the situation. The paramedics arrived quickly and managed to revive her. They told me she was lucky to be alive. As they worked, I couldn't help but wonder, how did I not see this coming? How long had this been going on right under my nose? The police started asking questions. Did you know she was involved in drugs? No, I had no idea. Did you notice any suspicious activity? Yes, but I never thought it would be this serious. They found out Olivia was deeply involved in a drug ring. The revelation hit me like a ton of bricks. How could I have been so blind? After that night, I couldn't stay there anymore. The fear and anxiety were too much. I moved out the next week, but the memory still haunts me. How close was I to getting caught up in something dangerous? It's terrifying to think about. So, if you ever feel something's off, trust your gut. Sometimes, the people you think you know can be hiding dark secrets.